All right, welcome grade 7. This video is for our review of exercise 12.2 practice questions, where we're going to be stepping through some of the answers and solutions to number 1 as well as number 2 in these particular examples. So for these practice questions, number 1 we have an A and a B, and it asks us to figure out both the area and the circumference of the given circles. But it does say we can leave our answers in terms of pi, which does simplify it a lot when we're going through those particular solutions. So 1A, we're given a circle, and the circle has a line halfway through, which has a number 10. So because it's halfway through, remember that that's the radius. We now know that the radius equals 10. We have another circle where we have a line all the way across, and that is 6x. So now this is our diameter is 6x. So to figure out the rest, if I need a diameter here, remember diameter is just double the radius, or radius is just half the diameter. So double of 10 would be 20. Half of 6x would be 3x. So to figure out, let's do circumference first. Circumference equals pi d. Circumference equals pi, our d is 20, so pi 20, or 20 pi if you want to reverse that. And because we can leave our answers in terms of pi, there's our answer. Here, circumference equals pi d. d is 6x, so pi 6x, or 6x pi, would be the particular answer in that question. For our area of the given circle, area equals pi r squared. We know our radius is 10, so area equals pi 10 squared, or pi 100, or 100 pi if you want to flip those. For this example, our area equals, again, pi r squared, but in this case, our radius is 3x. Remember the 3x, the whole thing needs to be squared now. So when we do that, our area equals 9x squared. So 9x squared pi, if you want to rearrange that, would be the area for that particular question. Let's move on now to question number 2. It asks us to figure out the area and circumference of a particular circle, and it gives us different diameters or radiuses and asks us to use different values for pi in our answer, in our solution as well. So for the first question, it says 2a, figure out the area and circumference when we have a diameter equal to 22 millimeters, and that's taking pi as equal to 3.14. So this one we're going to have to break out our calculators for. To figure out circumference, remember that circumference equals pi d. We're going over this formula a lot, but that's good. So in other words, pi we're saying is 3.14 times diameter, which is 22 millimeters. When we plug that into our calculators, you should get an answer or a circumference of about 69.08 millimeters. For our area for this question, area equals pi r squared. Well, I don't have radius yet, but remember that our pi is 3.14. Radius is just half diameter. So if diameter is 22, my radius is going to be 11, and then that's going to be squared as well. So 3.14 times 11 times 11 is 121, and 3.14 times 121 is going to give us 379.94 millimeters squared. So that would be both the circumference and the area for 2A. 2B, we are given a radius of 3.5 meters. If the radius is 3.5, then diameter is double that, 7 meters. It doesn't give us that, but I'm just putting that in for my own sake. And this one asks us, though, to use pi as its fraction, 22 over 7. Okay, so circumference equals, again, pi d. Circumference equals 22 over 7 times diameter, which is 7 meters. In other words, circumference equals 22 times 7 is going to be 154 over 7, or then divide that by 7, circumference equals 22 meters. For the area equals pi r squared. Area equals 22 over 7 times the radius, which is 3.5 meters squared. So first of all, 3.5 squared is going to be 12.25. 22 times 12.25 is going to be 269.5 over 7, which when we divide those out, then we get an answer of 38.5 meters squared. So that one was a lot trickier, dealing with the fraction side of things. C asks you to just basically use the value of pi from your calculator. So for this particular question, when you're doing that, your calculators might all be different, so you might end up with a slightly different answer than myself, which is okay as well. It gives us a radius of 6 inches, which means that we have a diameter of 12 inches. And then it asks us to use pi from your calculator. So circumference equals pi d, circumference equals pi times 12 inches on the calculator. And when you're going through that particular question and type that in, at least for myself, it gave me a circumference of about 37.70 inches. For area, in this case, area equals pi r squared. Area equals pi times 6 squared, or pi times 36, which when I plug that into, pi times 36, which when I plug that into my calculator gives me about 113.10. Again, these are rounded to 2 decimal places, and that would be inches squared. Rounded to 2 decimal places, but that's okay as well. So hopefully if you got stuck on any of those particular practice questions, that this helps you work through them.